a little bit early today. Main reason is because, as you know, like tomorrow is the meetup. I haven't really prepared what to say. So after this meeting, I'm going to start sitting and putting together and also getting all the volunteers into the call to prepare for our big show tomorrow, right? The flow, storyline, and everything. So it's going to be pretty tight evening for me. So considering that, I'll try to keep it light in today's session. As much as possible, I'll try to complete it by 6:30 to 6:35, worst case 6:40. Okay. All right. So let's get started today. Right. Oh, not this. Okay. All right. So we have gone through everything, and the last session that we were talking about was we wanted to review the pitch deck, and we also wanted to kind of understand, right? I kind of introduced Crunchbase for you guys to go and discover what the different companies are doing. Sometimes it helps because if you have some idea, you can kind of go and validate it, right? If any other companies is actually doing similar ideas by searching through that, if you have obviously the valid subscriptions and so on. So I kind of introduced you all about the Crunchbase. And we also started talking about different types of funding, and we understood in our last meeting what the seed funding is, that is pre-seed and the actual seed. And we were about to be looking at a presentation that has a pitch for the seed, right? So that's where we left off in our last meeting. So today what we will do is we'll try to kind of quickly browse through what is seed funding again, just to refresh our mind, and we will pick up a pitch deck of a seed funding and quickly review that together and close the session. And in our next session, we will do the similar thing for series A, B, and C. Okay, so let me click this link. So just as a refresher, this is what we learned in our last session. What is pre-seed funding round? What is seed funding round, right? And also we kind of learned different terminologies, which was very, very important for us, right? What is equity, like how much you own, what is the ticket size, how much have you invested in your business, and who are the angel investors, who are the venture capitalists, normally a big firm that puts lots of money, equity financing, and debt financing, taking loans, convertible note. In the future, you can say, if I achieve this, I'll give you so much. And many different ways to kind of, many different definitions that we went through. And then we started looking at what is actually a pre-fund seed funding round and how much you need to raise in that. How, if someone is paying you the money, how much stake that you would like to really give them, and what are all the ways to really do the pre-seed funding round, right? It's basically through some of the sources, right? Debt financing, and from angels, government grants, and from the families and friends, and incubators. Incubators is supports the pre-seed funding, because that's the place where you're kind of trying to validate your ideas and things like that, right? So that's what we went through, and then we looked at what is the seed funding. The difference between the pre-seed funding to the seed funding is that you wanted to really convert that idea into a business, right? That's the seed funding round for why you're going to ask for the investment. You need to pay your employees, and your product is still under development, so you need employees and so on. That's what is the seed funding round. And for the seed funding round, there are a number of ways that you can raise. So in the pre-seed, it was incubator, and then for the seed funding, it is accelerators. And you can also go to the venture capitalist, corporate seed funds, crowdfunding. These are all some of the ways that you can generate the seed funds. And I also talked about the valuation, which is very, very important, right? Every company is valuated, right? Like Uber today is multi-billion-dollar company, right? And Ericsson is again multi-billion-dollar company. Every company is valuated and depends on multiple factors. There is a professional organization that provides the valuation, right? So some companies are sold even though their revenue is like 300,000, but they are sold for like 1.2 billion, 4 times of their revenue, right? Because there are certain things like reputation, traction, which stage they are in, which industry that they are addressing. So there's a lot of factors that plays a role to really evaluate your company and then become kind of a successful when you sell that company in the areas that you're working for. So that's what it is. I'll give you a simple example. There are some service companies, right, who does services. Their valuation is typically 1.5 to 1.2 maximum, right, or in some cases even 1.25. But a company is a product company, depending upon the industries, it could even go to 4x and even 5x times, right? It depends totally. So it's also important as an entrepreneur to really look at do I have to be in a service industry? Do I have to be in a solution industry, product industry? We all know what's the definitions of these. We have learned together, right? And if I am, then which industry should I focus? And I'll have more investors available to invest on me. Or when I'm selling it, there's a lot of people are there to buy whatever the idea that I have, and I can make. I mean, all these factors play a key role, and that's why I want to make sure that you guys kind of understand this. So now let's go back to the slide and let's pick one pitch deck for example pitch deck for seed. Okay, let's see. Series A, we will do let's say 6.6 seed round. They raised 6.6 million. I want to see something that is a smaller one, right? 1.2 million, 150 million, 6.8, 10 million. Series B, Series B, Series B. It's a growth. Series D, convertible note. Yeah, let's see this. This is a little bit smaller, right? Let's see this. Okay, let's see. SmartHost pitch deck. So this is a company called SmartHost, and this is their pitch deck. And they were raising this for angel round capital investment. So
are you sharing something?
Yeah, been sharing for a while. Oh, okay. So what did I basically go through is this one, right? The last time that we went through, I just when I spoke, I was just showing you guys these places, so you kind of refresh your brain, right? So that's what I was sharing before, and then I started sharing this pitch deck, right? From that link. So SmartHost, let's go through this one, right? Let's go together. Let's read this together, right? And kind of see how they have actually created this pitch deck for the seed round. So let SmartHost pitch deck is they basically created this deck to raise an angel round capital investment, right? They try to raise 100K convertible note. You know what is a convertible note? Basically, angels will give that 100K if this company achieves a particular milestone, right? And it says it totally they raised 377K before they exited to beyond pricing for an undisclosed amount in 2017. Whatever. SmartHost was launched in March 18, 2014, and it is based in New York, United States. This online marketplace was founded in 2010 by Dave Redding and Ivan Hammer, whatever. So let's see what is SmartHost. SmartHost helps property managers and landlords make more money through data analytics, from vacation rentals to long-term leases. It also provides alerts when prices are changing in the listing and information related to the price trends. So basically, it's nothing but it's like a latest Airbnb, right? At that point of time, 2014 or 2010, this was the company which basically does that. If I have a property and if I wanted to lease, I can actually use them, right? Use their application. That's what it is. So these are all the funding rounds they did. First, they started with convertible note 100K, and then they did a debt financing 277.5, and then they exited. Someone else bought them, and we don't know how much money they got it. Okay, so if you look at this is their pitch, right? This is the pitch that we are going to go through. And if you relate this pitch, you will understand every point that we discussed, what the pitch deck should have. Okay, vision, problem, what target market you're going to target, and what solution you're going to provide for the problem that you have found out. What's your revenue model? What's your sales and strategy? Who are the team members? How are you going to use the money that you're going to receive, and how we are going to have a break even after some time, right? Investment mode, break even mode. Is there any competition? What's your plan for your exit strategy? Who are all your partners? And do you have a working product that you can show demo? So I'm just giving you the refresher, right? So that if you go here, you're able to relate to that. So let's see how they created this. So the first slide basically says SmartHost, and their slogan is a recommendation engine for real estate. It's basically a recommendation engine. It recommends people, right? That's what it is. If you look at this first slide, what do you get it? I mean, the first slide itself tells what this product is, what is their massive transformative purpose, what is their vision, and what is their mission, and all these definitions that we have learned. And that's what this particular first slide is talking about, right? That itself is like flashing it. Then if you go, they are basically talking about the vision. And basically what they are trying to say here is the problem and the solution, right? That we talked about, but they are presenting it in a different way, right? They are saying, what is our vision? I mean, they say real estate data is a mess. That's the problem. They are kind of saying that problem in a nicer way. And then they say what industry needs. An industry needs a central database for all transaction, an algorithm that understands and compares properties like a human being does. So they basically wanted to automate it, right? They wanted to centralize the database because the real estate database is a mess. They wanted to centralize all the database of all the transaction, and they wanted to do some kind of an algorithm that basically compares the properties like how human being does. So they are saying this is the problem and this is what the industry needs. Okay. Then they are talking, this is a vision, right? Of what they wanted to really achieve. And the market. So what is their focus market? Our first vertical is vacation rentals. This is what is their focus market, right? See, real estate is a big one, but they are trying to focus that. And they are trying to tell the investor how big is this market and trying to explain and articulate that so that they understand, the vision that they have and the problem that they are trying to solve, how big of the market that they are addressing, so that the investor know, okay, if I invest this money in this market, okay, I'm going to get a return on investment, right? So that's the bottom line. So he's saying about this market, 70% of vacation rental bookings happens via phone or email at that time, 2004, right? You have to think, you have to go back to 2005 because this pitch deck was done on 2015, right? Yeah, something around 2014, right? So you got to go back to that. And then think from their shoes, okay? So at that point, right, 70% of the vacation rental booking happened via phone call or email. The hosts are the only ones with this fragmented data. So that means the one who is providing the booking, facilitating the booking, they are the only one with the fragmented data. So, and then they are trying to kind of explain the vacation rental is $85. People spend $85 billion on, during the vacation, what they rent. And the apartment people, they rent, it's like $473 billion. That could be even just for living, right? Not just for the vacation. And then residential sales that happens in the market is around $12.1 trillion every year at that point of time. So he basically kind to give a understanding is the overall picture, but he says our first vertical is vacation rentals, right? So he wants to focus on this $85 billion market. And he says our first application is pricing for hosts. So he's trying to explain here, right? Some kind of a background to the investors. He's trying to say hotel use data to set different prices for each night. Vacation rental hosts don't. See, the hotel industry was so mature, right? Depending upon the holidays, depending upon the functions, depending upon the conferences that is happening, you see the pricing of the hotel keeps changing. Sometimes the same room you can rent it for $50, and the same room, you got to rent it for $500 if you go on some peak season, right? So what they are trying to basically say is hotel uses the data to set different prices for each night, but vacation rental hosts don't, because they don't have that kind of a facility. And then hotel 124% price swing. Vacation rental 18% price swing. So they have done some kind of a research, deep research, to really tell the investors that the vacation rentals do not have enough data to really maximize their profit. That's what they are trying to really prove here, right? If you go back to this one, the central database of all transaction is missing in rental, and an algorithm should be there to really help the human being to achieve some kind of comparison of the properties, right? That's what they are saying. And then if you go back, they are trying to kind of come back to the investors and saying, hey, investor, I mean, hotel prices, I mean, there is a swing, but in the vacation rental, there is no swing. That's because they don't have a means to really capitalize and profit themselves depending upon the different seasons, like how hotel industries are profitable. And that's what they are basically kind of explaining here. Then they are coming back to the actual problem. So they set the stage. Okay, this is our vision, this is the market, and this is the intro. They set the stage to the investors, and then they are explaining what's the problem. The problem is hosts guess at pricing, because they don't know when competitors' pricing properties get booked. They don't know because there is no central database like hotel database. So if I have a property, I have a home, and my upstairs is free, and I wanted to rent it, I just say, okay, come on in, $30, $40. But I really don't know. I make a guess. I really don't know how the other same properties like me, if they are renting, how much they are how much they are charging. I don't know. At that 2014-15, I don't know. That's the problem that they are articulating. So can't price against competition, can't price against specific nights, can't react to supply and demand changes. They can't really. They cannot. The vacation rental market cannot do this because they don't have the data like hotel market. And they are coming up with a solution. We help hosts make more money through dynamic pricing and market intelligence. Right?
I know.
Some background noise. Let's see who's that. Okay, we also have Abdul Samad, who's new. So we'll talk about it, Abdul, towards the end. Let me close this one. We help hosts make more money through dynamic pricing and market intelligence. That's their solution. See, they articulate the market and set the stage, and then they set the problem. The story flow is so easy, right? Even though we are going through this for the first time, I could have gone through before this call 5 minutes and I could have explained you guys, but I did not want to do that because I wanted to go through this impromptu with you. So, we understand we are in the same page. So they explained the problem. They told the solution. We are going to help the hosts to make more money through dynamic pricing and market intelligence. I can always connect. How are they going to do it? They're going to centralize the database and they're going to use the algorithm to do it. Because in the first slide, they already said that to me. We build a set of similar properties to determine the price intelligently. We analyze booking, events, demand, and hotel data, including the hotel data they are going to analyze. And then they are going to forecast the occupancy rates for the hosts like me who has a property. And they are going to provide market informed price calendar that updates in real time. So I know today if someone is calling me to hire a first floor in my home, today I have to probably tell them $200, and maybe sometime I got to tell them only $50. Then I will not lose them because I know the market. I have the market intelligence. So that's the solution that they wanted to provide. Then he says traction. You remember I told you, right? If investors see if someone is already using it, they like to invest on you, right? So they are saying who is using their product at this stage. We have sold subscriptions for 190 properties. Our 19 vacation rental managers average subscription is 109 per month. So they are trying to tell how many people are actually using this product already. And they also got some quotes from their customer. SmartHost solves an incredible hard problem for vacation rental. This kind of gives the investor an idea of how well your product is being accepted by the market. You have a traction. Remember, I told you the valuation also depends on traction. The investor putting money is also depends on the traction. So up to now, you convinced the investor that this is the big picture and this is the problem and this is the big picture and market size and this is the problem and this is the solution I'm providing. Already my product is being used by some people and I already have a traction and I have a validation. Then you say, now I have a validation customer is using. Now I need to go and find more customers. How am I going to go and find more customers? In order for me to go and find more customers, I can do multiple things. I have calculated multiple things. It's going to cost me $200 to acquire a $4,500 customer. That's what it's going to cost me. I'm going to sell through the phone and whatever the means at that time was. So you're basically explaining how am I actually going to go to market to acquire the customers. We sell via phones to the vacation rental managers that run 10 to 100 properties. Leads are inexpensive and targeted by size and location. Hosts are the best source of the booking data that drives our business because they are the sole owners of most of it. Although booking comes from online marketplaces, company websites, and personal referrals, 70% of the booking happen over the phone calls and emails. We embed hosts' local expertise into our similar property algorithm. Think Netflix recommendation engine for real estate. So they're basically saying, see how they are articulating. I am the Netflix engine for real estate. And that's how I'm going to really help to acquire more customers. I'm going to put this software in front of the hosts and the host is going to use that and they're going to become profitable. And they are going to, through word of the mouth, bring more traction. And I am going to go and meet all the hosts. I'm going to call them and I'm going to show them the demos or whatever is required to acquire the customers. So it's going to cost me $200 to acquire $4,500 customers. Then you're basically setting a stage, right? That means you're telling the investor, I need money. That's what you're basically starting to set a stage. Then also giving them the confidence that, hey, our team is not just anybody and everybody, right? We are 4 guys. We have sales, we have CEO, we have solid engineering guy, and we have a solid analytics guy. And these are their expertise, right? Ivan spends each month in different apartment. And he gives, everything that they write here. Nick ran operations and slaves for expanding 15 to 60 people in 9 months. Dave has lost, love for mathematics and a master's in software engineering expertise, and he builds algorithm. I mean, the way that they explain will give a confidence to the, and you see the explanations is not relevant to what they have studied, where they got MBA. But the point is, it's there, but still the point is they are trying to explain that is relevant to this particular product pitch, relevant to what they are developing. That's the key here, which will convince the customer, okay, this guy has a solid team and they know what they are doing. They will implement what they are doing and they will take care of it. They will have that confidence. Then you are showing them some financials. 25% of managers gets us $20 million annual revenue. Profitable by 2016 with $90K MRR and 7,000 properties. So basically they are telling, see, we are going to grow exponentially. Right? And then they have some appendix because, sometimes investors might ask some additional details. So they prepare themselves, right? Their presentation ended here. Okay. And of course, in this presentation, it does not really say how much money they want from the investors. Maybe he said it through the mouth. I need you to give me 100K, whatever, right? He said it by mouth or something like that. But nevertheless, he has most of the slides, most of the pointers that we talked about in our pitch deck, right? When we learned what all should be there in the pitch deck. So in appendix, he's put about competition, because investors sometimes ask why you are better than competitors. Can you convince me? So he's put about that data. They don't have the right data. Market prime customer is the guest. We are the revenue maximizing specialist, blah, blah, blah. And then he also puts the, quadrant and says, these are all the different competitors that we have, and nobody is there in the data analytics and also in the vacation rental managers that we are focusing. Nobody is there. We are the only one, kind of first in the market. And he's also talking about a little bit on the R&D, right? Our algorithm builds a set of similar properties automatically. Post refines it. He's showing some product stuff. How does the calendar look like? Just he prepares himself so that in case if the customer asks about competition and how your product look, what does it actually do? He has an answer to it. So this is one example of the good pitch deck, right? That I wanted to go through. But I wanted to give an exercise to you all, right? Look through this and then go to another one like Talk Desk, the pitch deck, how they have done it. Okay. So I kindly recommend you guys to go and look at this list that I provided to you. Look at any other pitch decks that are seed round pitch deck as an exercise and go through that and familiarize yourself. And in our next session, what we will do is we will go to the next round, right? Which is, we'll try to understand what is Series A funding, and then we will try to go through this all the Series B and Series 3 DEF funding, and then we will go back and then we will review a couple of 2 or 3 pitch deck that is prepared for Series A, B, and C. That will be our process that we will continue in our next week. So as I promised, I would like to really close today's session by 6:35, right? Because we have a big meetup coming up tomorrow. So let's see, we have some new attendees like Abdul Samed. Where are you from, Abdul? If you want to unmute and just introduce to everyone, yeah?
Yes, I live. Hi, everyone. I live in New York.
Good to have you, Abdul. What do you do, Abdul?
I'm a software engineer.
Awesome. What about you, Alan? Alan kind of already mentioned he's a student, and rest of them are all new. And Abdul, to you and Alan, this is a program that we have been doing from February, starting this year, and we are almost towards the end. Probably we'll have another 2 or 3 sessions, and we will complete this session, and then we will have a break for a month or 2. We currently have 2 teams. One team is led by Greg, another team is led by Nikki and Mukit. So the idea here is that both the teams will go back and they will learn everything, whatever that they have learned since starting of this year, and they will create a pitch deck. And if time permits, we'll create a small demo, and then they will come back after a month's break. They show it and they get rewarded, right? So that's the thought process. So we have gone through number of educational sessions in this. We are almost there in the end, right? Pitch deck, and then most probably a few other key things, 1 or 2 topics, and we are pretty much done, right? We started from the basic skill development and all the way to this. Now, what I recommend is Alan and Abdul, a couple of you both, looks like Alan, Abdul, you have a Testoper account, right? Already?
I have a what?
You have a Testoper, no, outside of organization. Okay. So you don't have a Testoper Microsoft Teams account. You can provide your first name, last name, and your email address. We can create you the Testoper account, right? Same
okay.
thing for you, Alan. So once you have your own account, then you can log in here, and you can collaborate in our channels like a Slack channels, right? We have the channels for Testoper projects and so on. In this, we have like 2 or 3 teams. You can probably, even though you are late, you can join one of the team. Next week I'll introduce you to the teams. You can join one of the teams, and then maybe just continue the session for next 2 or 3 sessions in Friday, and then take a break and help the team to build a pitch deck or whatever is required, and come back and present and enjoy your times, right?
Okay.
So that's my kind request. And then the other request that I have is, guys, tomorrow we have meetup. You all know I really want every one of you to come and attend that meetup. It's going to be a new area that you would learn. I'm expecting good attendance, like 50 to 80 people attending. There's a good registrations that we have. I'm confident that you all have registered. In case if you have not registered, I am going to send you this link. It's tomorrow at 10 a.m. EST. Please, if you have not registered, register it, join and support this. Okay. The link I have sent it in the chat. Click it and register it if you have not registered it. I will really appreciate you joining and supporting the Testoper community. Those who do not know, Testoper community is non-profit. We do all the programs for free. Only thing that we require is all the attendees to come and support and learn from us, right? That's the only thing that we expect from you all. And I look forward you all to help us, showing up some good crowd tomorrow and learn some new topic in that meetup. Okay. I'll see you all tomorrow at 10 a.m. You guys take care. I have to really go and start preparing for the tomorrow's meetup. Probably, I don't know, maybe I'll finish preparing by midnight, but there's a lot of work for me to do. Thanks, guys, for joining this week, and let's talk next week, same time.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.